Hello Food Network, I'm Ibriat. I'm from Manila, Philippines, and I'm 20 years old. And I'm your next food hero. I am Wonder Woman in the kitchen. I'm telling you, I do that all the time. I am basically a product of your shows. I've been watching any shows since I was like 8 years old. Ever since I could start, reaching the stove. You know what's funny is that I actually had or developed a very loaded British accent just by watching Nigella or Jamie Oliver, and I really can cook. And right now, since I've been waiting for this opportunity for my whole life, I'm telling you, and it didn't happen that 2 years back, I joined a recent, actually the first Filipino Master Chef, and I won 3rd place. I really feel that I can do more. And the ultimate dream, of course, is to land a hosting gig or whatever in Food Network. Anything associated in Food Network will definitely be my ultimate dream. And this is it. I just had a calling. I mean, it's me. It's my ultimate dream, and I'm gonna prove you how. In the kitchen, I always pretend that I am a cook show host. So today, we're gonna do one of my favorite things: travel to Greece. Well, not travel to Greece, but travel to Greece by food. I have an aunt in there wherein I can take vacations, and she taught me how to do an authentic moussaka. It's kind of like veggie lasagna, but it has very good layering of potatoes, zucchini, and eggplant that you're gonna absolutely love. It will take you to Greece. And after that, we're gonna make a simple salad on the side. So right now, I'm gonna take you to a place where I feel like a rock star. For the moussaka, we always have to use lean ground beef. In Greece, we actually use veal. So see, we have now around 500 grams of beef, but for this recipe, I'm gonna be using just all beef, right? So we have to choose our very fresh vegetables. Originally, we have to use aubergines or those fat, thick eggplants, but since I think it's quite very bitter, and we're in the Philippines, we're going to be using the local ones. It's actually quite long. It's not like the most purple aubergines, but this one is a bit sweet. The second part is that you would always use zucchini or courgettes. This will actually make a very good variation. It will really make it more sweet and more refreshing because it's all vegetable. Okay, my favorite part, this one. For one thing, it's because it's a very good source of starch, carbohydrates, for energy, and the fact that they look like minions. So I really think that these potatoes are inspirations for minions. You know those tiny things like, so, potato now. So, okay, so we're gonna flour this later and then fry them. We now have to concentrate on the dairy part because this is gonna give you a lot of flavor. Now, originally we used gelato firi cheese. It's actually like a melting cheese, but at the moment we don't have it. We're going to use Parmesan or any grated cheese like Grana Padano. For this one, I think I'm going to use the grated Parmesan cheese. So I can sprinkle half on my bechamel and then the other half for my salad. Okay, I must admit it's a bit fatty. We might want to add a bit of color and a bit of sourness to it. So for the side, I'm going to do a simple salad. Okay? I really like these. These butterhead lettuce are really cute. For one thing, they add a little bit of color, and then they're very sweet. I'm also going to be using some radis or arugula, and then a bit of grapes just to give it a bit more color and sweetness. Maybe some cuties too. Ta-da! And now here I am. I am in my territory. I am my invincible fortress, and now I'm going to wear my cape. I now have my produce in here, wherein we course what are potatoes, zucchini, eggplants, and everything. So we're going to do the mise en place, meaning put everything into place. In the kitchen, you have to be organized all the time. So for now, we're going to dice our onion. We're done with our onion. I only used one, by the way. We're going to go to the veggies. Okay, so the reason why I'm cutting this first is not of potatoes is because I know soy won't turn brown. So zucchinis first. I leave the skin on for 2 reasons. actually will. The only reason I know is that it keeps it sturdy. I know because if I peel it, you know, it's gonna be really, really soft. So I'm gonna cut it lengthways and lengthwise. I'm gonna do it like this. So I have a cup flour in here already. So I just dredge them in here. In other recipes, you will always see that they will pat it with paper towels first, so that they will draw extra moisture out. But the flour does that perfectly, and we'll see later it has a reason why I do flour. So when we fry them, it's going to be crispy, it's going to absorb all the extra oil, and later on with the sauce, it's going to make it stick. So we're going to do the aubergines or eggplants. It's okay to use aubergines, but I prefer this one because we will locally grow it, and it's a sweeter. It's not bitter at all, so it actually cuts the preparation time in half. Right, if you're going to use aubergines, you have to draw the excess moisture out, you have to soak them to take off the bitterness. So this is almost ready. So same thing, cut it lengthwise, and then just dredge them with flour. And now our potatoes are my onions. Lengthwise also, you want it to be a very uniform shape so it will cook evenly together with the other veggies. Although the potato will take a long time, it has more moisture. It's going to steam itself. So same thing, just flour this, and then they're going to hit the fryer. We're now going to fry. What I have in here ready is a cookie sheet lined with a paper towel. Now, if you're of the more health conscious type, but me, I don't freaking count calories. It's not a lot in my kitchen. So you can actually have the vegetables and spray a little bit of olive oil. You can sprinkle a little bit of thyme or more oregano or salt and pepper. Just pop it in the oven and bake it as it is. It's actually more, you know, labor saving, but me, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way, and because I want the flour. Okay, so we're gonna fry the eggplants first, just so they won't turn red. Okay, now we're frying these veggies. You don't want to overcook them, or else they're gonna turn mush later when you bake them 45 minutes. So you just want to give them a bit of color. So we're now gonna make our sauce, okay? So our sauce is basically just a bolognese, or whatever. But the thing is, the spices are different, and I'm gonna show you later. So we're just gonna spread the garlic. Okay, so I could have waited longer. I already put my meat in. I promised you earlier that we're gonna do an all beef moussaka, but like I'm just gonna let it happen since I saw a beautiful ground pork. So I made about like maybe 500 grams of ground beef and then about 300 grams of pork just to make it a bit fatty. The pork fat is just amazing. Okay? So we'll just do this. Okay? We'll just brown it. Look at that. Now all throughout, I don't brown my meat just yet. Okay, let's soak in there for a minute, and then I'm gonna add my spices. There, we're gonna use cinnamon, allspice, and then nutmeg, and a bit of oregano. So I'm gonna put a little bit of salt, actually a handful, just so it will draw the moisture out. And then what's gonna happen is it's gonna marinate in its own broth. And now I'm just gonna eyeball allspice. Maybe about a teaspoon. teaspoon again of cinnamon. And then again a teaspoon of nutmeg. So you have about 800 grams of meat in there. I'm gonna add my oregano now. Oregano is, by the way, is a very Greek herb. They practically use it in there. Okay, you can now smell the cinnamon, the nutmeg. It's almost like baking with paired with steak. So that's how juicy and beefy it is. Now we're just gonna add a little bit of tomato paste to thicken it up. You see that it's already brown, so you just want to. Okay, so now we have our tomato paste in, and look, come in. Look how it gives it a red color. Okay, so now we're gonna put our crushed tomatoes, and then we're gonna let it boil and simmer until it has condensed. Now see our sauce, how it simmered down, and now we're left with all this beefy and tomatoey goodness. We're gonna make our bechamel or our white sauce. That I will guarantee you will never ever fail. It's going to be a staple in your kitchen. Now, what I have in here is about a cup of milk, half a cup of flour, about 2 to 3 eggs, and then salt. When you're making a bechamel, you have to make a roux. It's just butter and then flour. You have to stir it, and then you have to pour warm milk in. Now we're going to do it the cheater's way. Like, so no housewife or girlfriend will ever fail this. So your boyfriend will surely love you for this. Okay, so first off, we're gonna start with milk. It's cold, not warm, or else they're gonna be having a very sticky flour. Okay, we're gonna dissolve the flour in the milk. Make sure there's no lumps in it. And then I'll add in a bit of salt to taste. Depends on how salty you want it. Now the secret in here is that you'll put a bit of butter in it to make it glossy. So basically, you're doing the same recipe as of the bechamel. It's just you're tweaking the procedure on what to do. Okay, I know the French will hate me for this, but you know, the housewives, they're gonna idolize me. Okay, so let's put it in heat. Okay, so it might not look yummy at first because you're still dissolving the butter and then the flour, but later on, like maybe a minute or two, it's gonna turn into this smooth, silky white sauce. It's actually very good. You can put cheese on it. So see how thick it's gotten now. So no harm done here. It's still a bechamel, but the easier way. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off heat, let it cool down a bit, and then we're gonna add in some eggs. Okay, now that our bechamel has now cooled in, we're gonna put in about 2 to 3 eggs. Okay, now we're gonna fold the eggs in. I usually leave a little bit for an egg wash later, so you're gonna get a very nice crust. Okay, so just fold it. It's now pulled down. What the egg does actually is that it will make it set. It will help it set the bechamel. And so it's gonna have like a cheesecake for a topping, a very savory cheesecake. Okay, now the fun part begins. You're gonna start building your moussaka. And I'm gonna layer everything. So the heaviest first, so it's always the potatoes. Sprinkle a bit of parmesan in between, just so it will make it salty since I didn't put any salt in it earlier. And then it will make it stick. Okay, now we're gonna fold our beautiful red sauce in. Okay, now it's done. We're gonna give it a tap, or what I call vibration, just so it will get through that nooks and crannies. Okay, and it will set perfectly. Like you can twerk with it, you can do Harlem shake with it. Con los terroristas.
Harlem Shake.
That's it. Now we're gonna top it with our beautiful bechamel sauce. So you just imagine lotioning yourself with white sauce. Lotion. See, wow. Perfect. Perfect. See? For an egg wash, we'll actually just put that. Look, see, is the just gorgeous. Oh, look at me, look at my pie. Look at my moussaka. Okay, now we're gonna put this in the oven, about 200 degrees for about 30-40 minutes until you see a nice golden crust. Now our beautiful moussakas are in the oven. Look at that. The other one's so gorgeous already. It's getting a tan in there. It's getting crusty while the other one's still setting. Now we have about 20 minutes to go. What we're gonna do is a very simple salad to go as a side. Okay, so this is gonna remain there. It's gonna sit in the fridge for a few minutes. It's gonna chill in there, so it's gonna get crispy. Now I'm gonna let you into my ultimate sexy vinaigrette that everybody loves, especially when they take them to potlucks. Now, it is the first time that I'm gonna tell the secret ingredient of this one, okay? It's very conventional, it's very unique. I use condensed milk instead of honey. Usually, people will use honey together with balsamic, but I just find the condensed milk a bit creamier and a bit thicker, so it holds that emulsification. So it's very good. Okay, now with that, you have to use an equal part for balsamic. So for example, you did about 1/3 of a cup of the condensed milk. Now you're gonna do 1/3 of a cup too. This. Okay. Now we'll just mix it in, and then we'll add a bit of oregano. Okay, now we're gonna put a little bit of salt in here, and then we're gonna use olive oil. Same amount, about 1/3 of a cup. Now what you have here is a very fine dressing. Now, it shouldn't stop there. So we're gonna add more savoriness to it. We're gonna add a bit of Parmesan. The olive oil is almost invisible because the milk, the condensed milk, acts as an emulsifier. So it combines almost everything, okay? Look at this sexy piece of you. Okay, now I have a rule. Everything that comes out of the oven should stay still for like 20 minutes, whether it's a roast or a cake or whatever. Just to make sure that everything is all set, everything is gonna stay the same. Or else if it's gonna be too hot, you know, it will turn mushy. Okay, so you don't want a soupy moussaka, you want a very firm one. And later, you're gonna pray with me. Okay, back to my salad. I'm the type of woman who can't handle distraction and seduction. So I'm gonna have to chop my toppings while this baby is on the side. So I chose oranges and then some grapes. It's seamless, so it can go directly to the salad. But for this one, I'm gonna segment them. The grapes I will just cut in half. And then the oranges segmented. Okay, so let's just cut these in half. And then when we're done, we're gonna plate our salad and this baby. Now we're gonna do salad. So silk greens, just fresh from the fridge. I'm gonna put a little bit of dressing. Okay, now we're gonna plate everything in. So pray with me. Pray that it will be firm and sturdy because, you know, I really can't wait to dig in. It hasn't been cooled enough. Now we're gonna top it with parsley, my favorite. I call it the kitchen glitter because you just sprinkle it everywhere and it will make it pretty. Now we're just gonna put the salad on the side. Okay, now, so we have my moussaka. Look at that beautiful, beautiful crust. Look at that beautiful, beautiful face. Look at me, I'm a chef. Simple salad with a condensed milk dressing, steaming hot moussaka. This is my dinner. Perfect layer. Okay, so now I'm all done. I really can't decide who's gonna take me home tonight, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be taking photos of him. Look at that. Bye.